Michelle, happy Friday. It is
Happy
the
Friday.
fastest 10 minutes of Microsoft Teams rooms for the week.
Yes,
You
sir.
and I were left home from Infocomm. I don't know what happened. Who knows? But hopefully we've got a bunch of people out there watching us. I want to say welcome to Michael Tressler, who's actually producing from the show floor as well.
Woo!
Michael, thank you for showing up and thank you for being here. Look at that wonderful Jabra booth behind you. So as we went through the week, Michelle, there were a lot of things that actually came out.
So much.
The first one was this blog post, and I don't think we can actually just do one slide for this blog post. We've got to go through a whole bunch of these things that were actually announced this week, right?
I think we haven't announced this much in a very long time. It's very exciting.
Even as we go through things, it was unbelievable to see all this stuff that we've been talking about and everything else, but now have solidified, hey, we're coming out with this now. Now, we've all seen these marketing pictures of Front Row. We all love the marketing pictures of Front Row. And when you get it and we put it in the view, you understand, oh, Michelle, your background is different than my background. But look at the marketing picture. This is where we're going and this is what we're doing. Front Row now has the idea that we can actually do some of this background replacement and make it consistent across everybody's view.
So everybody's background is now black. It makes the people pop out of the screen more, but like Jimmy said, less distraction in the background so you can focus on looking each other in the eye and creating those inclusive and immersive meetings.
Absolutely. And there's more, even Cloud IntelliFrame for MTRW. You and I do all these speeches and we talk about the value of Microsoft Teams Pro license. Well, this is one of those values that's coming. So you have this camera, and it's not an intelligent camera, but you want to be able to actually have, like you said, that inclusivity. How are we going to do this? Well, Cloud IntelliFrame allows you to do this, Michelle.
And it's coming quite soon. It's already in July, so that's next month, meaning that if you have a camera that does not have the artificial intelligence on board, we will process and compose this image for you in the Microsoft Cloud and then give you what you're seeing on the display here.
Yeah, and both participants and IT admins will have control of this to allow it to be turned on and off. And also thank you to our partners at Yealink and Jabra, because we're advancing significantly on one of the favorite features that you and I have inside of Teams, that intelligent recap.
And it's so important because with this, you can see the different people in the room, but we can also recognize the distinct names or voices and names of the people. So you can see who is speaking in the room when you're speaking to people in that room. Intelligent Recap, Jimmy, again, it's a game changer. I think we're starting to roll that out now if you have Teams Premium, but that's bringing room functionality to Teams Premium as well.
Yeah, and it's in TAP. So our Technology Adopters program is actually using this right now. It will then come to the early preview. It will then go to what's called GA or general availability. So really, really close to bring that out. Also, the MTRA is how we actually refer to this, but it's the Android Microsoft Teams room systems. We're going to get smart camera controls this month, allowing people to actually frame those rooms, bring in more of that inclusivity to those cameras as well.
And before you had to do this through the camera, now it's going to be a lot easier. You can IT admins can set up default options from the device settings as well, straight in the MTRA application.
Yeah, and I want to stay on this slide. It took me a little while to actually make this slide. It's really, really nice and everything else. So, but it is coming to the in-room camera.
Is that an AI picture? Is that an AI picture that you created?
That is not an AI picture that actually created it. It was one of the things that I actually said, all right, just give me this. And then it sort of did it, but I had to actually manipulate a little bit of it as well. The Copilot is there. And for our friends at Infocomm, those people that think, oh, well, I've got to bring in people from Jupiter and Mars and Pluto and every single thing available. Our friends at PEXIP have actually come up with a way to bring in H323 and SIP calls. They're the first provider that will be able to actually bring in this capability directly to the Microsoft Teams room systems.
So if you want to make Teams more complicated, this is the way to do it?
Yeah, I think that's really it. We want to actually really sort of keep this simple. That's why we tell everybody, get to a Microsoft Teams room system. But some people do like to throw in, well, what if? And what if? And what if? And I don't like the what ifs because, like you said, it gets a little bit more complicated. But I understand when they have these needs. When customers come and they have these needs, I don't want people introducing, oh, well, I've got to do this. If there is this specific need, we've now got a capability of actually doing this. Also, speaking of specific needs, Michelle, we have done a lot here at Microsoft. Us, the program group, everybody has been saying, hey, we want to reduce the friction of putting in rooms. Why? because we're still seeing triple-digit year-over-year growth of these systems, but we know there's still challenges, and some of those challenges are really going to be removed. And again, it's in this single blog post where we're showing all this stuff. One of them is putting that Microsoft Teams Room Pro Management System agent inside of the firmware itself, allowing the Windows devices to be just like the Android devices.
And again, more value coming to Pro. If you are still on basic license, go to Pro. Just use basic for your POCs, but Pro is the way to move. You saw the IntelliFrame features coming to the Pro license. This is something, the Pro Management Portal is part of that Pro license as well. And now you no longer have to manually install that agent on the device to enroll the device into the Pro Management Portal.
Yeah, and reducing that friction with new device health signals. But not only that, Michelle, you and I both know that so many customers never look at the reports and never look how many times was this room used? How is it used? What's actually the insights in here? And bringing insights reporting automatically to that Pro portal and being able to bring all of that data in and give you reports, it's something, again, that value of the Pro license is there.
But just go back one slide. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Don't want to mess with the flow here. But that third one, if you are not the best at PowerShell, I know PowerShell, but I always need to go to GPT to kind of help me out with the right commands. Now you can do all of that PowerShell stuff that you need to do for the resource account. You can do that in the Pro portal as well.
And again, that's just reducing the friction that we have with Teams Rooms itself. So that is basically a few of the points that were pulled out of that single blog post. If you have not looked at that blog post, make sure you actually put it on your list. Also, an updated Learn article this week, Michelle, about custom backgrounds on Microsoft Teams Rooms on Windows.
So there's the new UI UX, which is actually a new app on MTRA, or not MTRA, Microsoft Teams Rooms for Windows. New application, which also means that you now have to refresh your custom backgrounds. We didn't have a lot of guidance on this. Now with the updated Learn article, I think you also get the PSD file, so you can start messing around with this yourself.
Yeah, it shows you where you can put things, where you can't put things, where we're putting things, and customers shouldn't. So a lot of that is in the guidance there, but custom backgrounds is something that's really, really important to a lot of organizations and something that's been updated on the Learn article.
Yes. By the way, if you're, I just want a quick shout out to Mo Khalifa, aka Wesley here. Go to his YouTube account. There's interesting stuff on there that is not Teams Rooms related, but you might see Jesse J on there. Wesley, you see it here. Go to the YouTube account to check out Mo Khalifa in his best form.
The roadmap, we have something actually inside of Teams. It's something that you and I love, and it's a loop component, actually, Michelle.
I spent so much time. I'm just looking at Mo in the comments. I spent so much time in Loop. It's become so much easier to have these collaborative notes, and now you can take notes, put them into the Teams Rooms chat, and you can then manually add those in any application you want to. Before I was yelling Copilot, Copilot, Copilot. I was actually yelling Loop, Loop, Loop.
Correct. It's an amazing ability to actually have one object that actually gets updated across the entire sphere of Outlook, Teams, all your chat, even Whiteboard. It all gets updated and it's in there. So look at this. It's now in public preview. Collaborative notes inside of Teams.
Yes.
Michelle, as excitement builds for Inspire, the session list and the session catalog is actually out. Remember, this is the place that Satya last year in his keynote said that a majority of code will not be written by humans in the near future. What did he know? And what's this year going to look like?
He knew something. Microsoft Inspire, this is the event for Microsoft partners. If you haven't been part of this yet, make sure you sign up today. And there's so many sessions that you can follow. There will also be dedicated Microsoft Teams Room sessions. I even heard we might be doing a couple of announcements. So make sure you sign up to Microsoft Inspire, and then the broadcast begins on the 18th in the late afternoon if you are on the European side of the world, or very early if you are on the Seattle side.
And I do want people to sign up early because these sessions do have limits to many of them. And if you want to be in them, make sure that you're actually on this session catalog very early. And immediately after this, Michelle, I will be joining my friends Ted Colton from 135 Group, Nick Milani from Epifan, Peter Stewart from SciViz. We're going to be using the Epifan technology that can actually broadcast your teams and Teams Room systems and make a pure broadcast out of it. Join us. We're going to be going over everything that was seen at Infocomm. These gentlemen will be at Infocomm. I'm going to be here from my home base, but I'm excited to actually go through a lot of the things that actually happened in Infocomm. Michelle, you and I are going to be talking about a lot of these things for a long time. We've got Michael in the Jobber booth. I know that Marin, Monique, everybody down inside of Orlando has been doing a tremendous job of giving Michelle and I what I think is called FOMO, right? FOMO?
Yes, 100%.
But thank you for everybody for tagging us in your posts this week. Thank you for everybody coming every week to listen. Michelle, Michael, have a safe trip home. Have a good weekend, and we'll see everybody next week. And Marin, thank you for coming from the Infocomm floor as well. Thanks, everybody.
Enjoy, y'all.
Have a good one.
Take care. Bye-bye.